Morality and politics, two things that don't really go together. To find or to expect morality in politics, especially Indian politics, is nothing short of wishful thinking. So the Modi government has taken this task upon themselves. They want to change this. Yes, the Modi government wants to ensure that corrupt politicians don't govern us, that tainted netas, those who face criminal charges, do not hold any kind of constitutional position. Those who do, they must quit. So you may be the Prime Minister of India, the Chief Minister of a state or union territory, or even a cabinet minister. If there are serious criminal charges against you, you will have to quit within a stipulated time. Else, you will be removed from office. On paper, it may sound like a great idea, but many think otherwise. The Modi government introduced a set of bills in this regard today in Parliament. The opposition says that this is draconian and completely unconstitutional. There was a huge ruckus in the Lok Sabha today over this, as opposition MPs took on Union Home Minister Amit Shah. So what is this bill all about? Hello and welcome, I'm Shubham Chauhan. Let's get started. So Union Home Minister Amit Shah tabled three bills in the Lok Sabha today. The Constitution 130th Amendment Bill 2025, the Government of Union Territories Amendment Bill 2025, and the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Amendment Bill 2025. Now these bills talk about the removal of the Prime Minister, Cabinet Minister or Chief Minister of a state or union territory. The bill says that if you are the Prime Minister, Chief Minister or a Minister and you are arrested or detained for 30 days by our investigating agencies on serious charges, you will automatically lose your job on the 31st day. And what comprises these serious charges? Offences that have a minimum jail term of 5 years. So charges like sexual assault, murder, sedition, etc. In fact, the bill lays down the details of how this removal will happen, and we'll take you through the screenshots of this bill. It says that a central minister shall be removed from the office by the President of India on the advice of the Prime Minister, and in case such advice is not given by the 31st day, he or she shall cease to be a minister. For Prime Minister, the proposed law states that he shall tender his resignation by the 31st day after arrest and detention, and if he or she fails to do so, that person ceases to be the Prime Minister. Now, same is the case with the state Chief Minister and their cabinet ministers as well. For the latter, the Chief Minister has to advise the governor of the state to remove a particular person. If there is no advice given in the 30 days time, that person in detention ceases to be a minister on the 31st day. And like I said, the protocol for the Chief Minister too is the same. You either quit within 30 days or you will be removed automatically on the 31st day. Now, the government says that the objective of these bills is to ensure that only clean public representatives hold these top and important positions, that we can't have tainted people ruling us. The government says those arrested or detained over allegations of serious crimes, these people would hamper constitutional morality and principles of good governance. Now, eventually, they will also betray the trust of the people because they have serious allegations against them. When Union Home Minister Amit Shah stood up to table these bills in Lok Sabha today, he was met with fierce resistance. Within minutes, the Lok Sabha plunged into chaos this afternoon. Opposition MPs entered the well of the House chanting slogans against the government. Amit Shah proposed to send the bills to a joint committee of Parliament. Opposition MPs including Asauddin Owaisi, Manish Tiwari, N.K. Premchandran, Dharmendra Yadav and K.C. Venugopal led the charge, saying that the bill was unconstitutional. In fact, K.C. Venugopal, Congress leader, even questioned Amit Shah's morality, and he was of course referring to the latter's arrest while he was the Home Minister of Gujarat. In fact, at one point, when Amit Shah was speaking in Lok Sabha amidst this ruckus, opposition MPs tore copies of the bills and these torn copies flew across Amit Shah's face. Look at the scenes from the Lok Sabha today.
Sir, BJP people are telling this bill is to bring morality in politics. Can I ask a question to the Honorable Home Minister? When he was the Home Minister of Gujarat, he had been arrested, sir. Whether he took the morality of that point of
मुझे सुनो ना, पहले बैठ जाओ माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मैं रिकॉर्ड क्लियर करना चाहता हूँ। मुझ पर झूठे आरोप लगाए तब अरेस्ट होने के पहले मैंने नैतिकता के मूल्यों का हवाला देकर इस्तीफा भी दिया, और जब तक मैं कोर्ट से निर्देश नहीं हुआ, कोई संविधान को मैंने स्वीकार नहीं किया। ये क्या सिखाते हैं नैतिकता में? मैं तो इस्तीफा देकर गया था, और मैं तो चाहता हूँ कि ये नैतिकता के मूल्य बढ़े। हम ऐसे निर्लज्ज नहीं हो सकते कि हम पर आरोप लगे और हम संवैधानिक पद पर हैं। अरेस्ट के पहले मैंने इस्तीफा दिया है। 19 का और संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को माननीय अध्यक्ष जी द्वारा नाम निर्देश किए जाने वाले इस सभा के 21 सदस्य और उपसभापति द्वारा नाम निर्देश करने वाले 10 सदस्यों के मिलकर बनने वाले सभाओं की संयुक्त समिति को सौंपा जाए।
Now, there are plenty of examples in recent years where sitting ministers have gone to jail over serious allegations of corruption. Some have resigned before going behind bars, and some haven't. Like Hemant Soren of Jharkhand, for instance, he resigned in 2024 as chief minister just before the ED put him behind bars in an alleged money laundering case. Of course, he was granted bail by the Jharkhand High Court in some time, and he became the chief minister once again. The other end of the spectrum, you have leaders like Arvind Kejriwal. Last year, he too was jailed in an alleged corruption case, the Delhi excise policy scam. But the Aam Aadmi Party chief and Delhi chief minister at the time refused to quit. So effectively, you had a situation where the chief minister of Delhi was in jail and he was running the government from there. You also had the example of DMK leader Senthil Balaji, who did not resign despite serious charges. He resigned, then he was brought back, and that cycle went on. It's only after the Supreme Court of India gave him an ultimatum that either you resign as minister or we will cancel your bail, did Mr. Balaji resign. So to that extent, one can understand the argument. Say the chief minister or prime minister or minister goes behind bars and takes the post with him. That, of course, raises a big question mark on the effectiveness of that position and just governance in general, and whether that portfolio or state can be run at all effectively. But that is one aspect. The other and more contentious one is this. You don't have to be a convict to be removed from the position. Just a serious case that has more than 5 years of prison term, the police or any probe agency can just pick you up, keep you in detention for 30 days, and 31st day, boom, you're out. Regardless of whether you are convicted by law. Remember the legal concept, innocent until proven guilty. By what the current bill attempts to do, even a serious corrupt allegation is enough to have you removed from office. Which brings us to the other concern. Experts and even the opposition says this proposed law will be used to topple opposition state governments very easily. Senior advocate and Congress MP Abhishek Manu Singhvi said, "What a vicious circle. No guidelines for arrest followed. Arrests of opposition leaders rampant and disproportionate. New proposed law removes incumbent chief minister, etc. immediately on arrest. Best way to destabilize opposition is to unleash biased central agencies to arrest opposition CMs, and despite being unable to defeat them electorally, remove them by arbitrary arrests, and no ruling party incumbent chief minister ever touched." Basically that this law will be used unevenly, only to target the opposition and not look at the ruling party and their chief ministers. Many are also citing the example of Satyendra Jain, the Aam Aadmi Party leader and former Delhi cabinet minister who was jailed in 2022 by the Enforcement Directorate for money laundering. Jain spent more than 2 years in jail without bail or a trial or even a conviction. Last year, he was released by the court on bail. In 2025, CBI closed a criminal case against Satyendra Jain related to alleged irregularities in hiring in the Public Works Department. In its closure report, the CBI said that it had found no criminal activity or wrongful loss to the government in the case that pertained to alleged corruption. The larger point that the opposition is flagging that this will be used to target tainted ministers or tainted opposition ministers. There's a difference between the two. Read this headline for some context. It says that since 2014, 25 opposition leaders facing corruption probe crossed over to the BJP and 23 of them got reprieve. Leaders like Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar, former Chief Minister Ashok Chavan, Himanta Biswa Sarma, etc. All of them faced serious corruption cases at one point. But once they were into the BJP, many of these cases just went into cold storage. Whereas the opposition says, this is BJP's washing machine. So, will an Ajit Pawar, for instance, be forced to resign if he is arrested in the 70,000 crore alleged irrigation scam case? Critics say since he is with the BJP, nothing will happen to him. Although if it is the Ajit Pawar of the opposition, this proposed law could be used to go after him. So what happens next? The bill has just been introduced for now. It will now head to a joint parliamentary committee comprising Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha MPs. Now, since this bill requires a constitutional amendment, it will have to be passed by 2/3 majority in both houses of parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and also 50% of the states will have to give their assent with a simple majority. And as numbers stand, it's difficult for the Modi government to ensure that this bill actually goes through. But one never knows. But what one knows for sure is that while the intent could be right, the weaponization or misuse of this proposed law whenever it comes into effect indeed remains a serious concern. That's all we have for this report. Thanks for watching.